All right, so you guys should have finished this warm-up, right? That's what we were just working on. So let's go to this page now. Number 11 and number 12 were your homework last night. So let's talk about those real quick. So axis of symmetry is where, oh, this one's difficult. Axis of symmetry is where the line goes through the vertex. So let's talk about the vertex actually first. Does anybody know what your vertex is at on this guy? It's a little difficult. What does it look like it's at? What, comma, what? We want this point up here. So what would that be at? It's actually at 1/2, comma, how much? 3. So what would my axis of symmetry be at? So that helps me find my axis of symmetry. What would that axis of symmetry be at then? Look back or look at your notes. You should all have this because it was homework. What does it always start out as? Seriously, flip the page. Look at our other examples. Look at the axis of symmetry. What does it always start out as? Every single time. Thank you. X equals. Now, look at your vertex. What does my X equal? Nope, look at my vertex. We just wrote it down. 1/2. If you said 0.5, I misheard you. Okay? Is this parabola going up or going down? It's going down. So does it have a maximum point or a minimum point? Good, it has a maximum point. Okay, what are my X-intercepts? Where does it cross the X line? There are 2 on here. It's a XY point. What is one of those points? -2, 0, and then 3, 0. Thank you. I have a Y-intercept on this guy. Where does it cross the Y line? What's your X value? First off, 0. And where does it look like it crosses the Y line? About 3. That's fine. Domain is all the X values that it's going to hit. What do you think are all the X values that it's going to hit? Yes. Please for me real quick. That is the 3rd example we've done. What has my domain always been? -infinity to infinity. On all these problems, your domain is always going to be -infinity to infinity. Okay, so let's remember that. Range is Y's. So we always start smallest. Where does it go all the way down to? -infinity. What's the tallest it's going to go? +3. 3 is a number, so it gets a bracket. Infinity gets a parenthesis. Okay? Next one, number 12. What is my axis of symmetry here, guys? X equals how much? Not -1. Not 1, 3. Because what's my vertex at? What, comma, what? 3, comma, -1. Isn't this point at 3, -1? Well, what's your X value at that point? It's 3, so your axis of symmetry has to be 3. Is this a maximum point or a minimum point? Minimum. I have 2 X-intercepts. What are my 2 X-intercepts? What's one of them? 2, 0, perfect. What's another one? Awesome. Where does it cross the Y line? Crosses all the way up here. What, comma, what? What does that point at? It crosses all the way up here, guys. We need to be able to name points. 0, 8. Domain, we said before, is what? Good. Range. What's the lowest this guy goes? What? -1. That gets a bracket. It's a number. What's the highest it's going to go to? There we go. Will one of you guys back there turn off the front light for me, please? It's the light switch, I think, closest to you. There you go. That'll help a little bit. Okay. Looking at example 13 and 14, we are now graphing, okay? So what you're going to do is they give you a table. All you need to do is plug in the numbers for x. So for instance, I'm going to plug in 0 for x here. So I'm going to do 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 6. What is 0 squared? 0. What's 4 times 0? So now I have 0 minus 0, but then plus 6. So how much is that? Does that help a little bit? Okay. So how much is that, guys? Sorry. 6. Okay, now we're going to plug in 1 for x. It says 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 6. What's 1 squared? What's 1 times 1? 1. What's 4 times 1? Yep. So I'm going to do 1 minus 4. What's 1 minus 4? Negative what? 3. What's negative 3 plus 6? How much? 3. Same for 2. 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 6. What's 2 squared? And what's 4 times 2? So what's 4 minus 8? Negative 4. What's negative 4 plus 6? 2. Type in 3. 3 squared minus 4 times 3 plus 6. What is 3 squared? And what's 4 times 3? So what's 9 minus 12? Negative 3 plus 6 is 3. One more, we have to plug in 4. 4 squared minus 4 times 4 plus 6. What is 4 squared? And what's 4 times 4? So this one's having me do 16 minus 16, but then add 6 to that. How much would that be? 6. Okay, these are points. These are your XY points. How many points are there that I need to plot? There's 5. Go ahead and plot those points. So what do you notice when you're plotting them? What shape is it making? It's making a U. It starts going back up, right? So when you're connecting these, you don't connect them in a line because it's no longer a line. You connect them in a U shape, right? Now, once we have that graph on there, I want for you to answer these questions real quick. You got 2 minutes to answer those questions. What'd you say? So axis of symmetry is x equals 2 because the vertex is at 2, 2. Good. What's the is this a max or min? Awesome. X-intercepts, does it cross the x line? So do I have x-intercepts here? I do not. It's okay to have none. You will either have none, 1, or 2. So those are your options. But it does cross the y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-intercept at? 0, 6. What's my domain? Always. What's my range? Where does it start? And goes to? Perfect. All right. Next problem. plug in our numbers. 0 squared is just 0. 4 times 0 is just 0, right? So what's 0 plus 0 minus 3? Negative 3. Plug in 1. What's 1 squared? Now you got to be careful on this. You then need to throw the negative on front of it, or in front of it. What's 1 times 4? So on this guy, I'm doing negative 1 plus 4 minus 3. So what's negative 1 plus 4? And then 3 minus 3 is 0. 2, what's 2 squared? And throw the negative sign in front of it. What's 2 times 4? 2 times 4? There you go. And then we're going to do minus 3. So what's negative 4 plus 8? Minus 3. What's 3 squared? So throw the negative sign. So negative 9. What's 4 times 3? And then minus 3. So what's negative 9 plus 12? Or 12 minus 9. Same thing. And then what's 3 minus 3? Do you see what happens with your numbers in the table if you're doing it correctly? It happened over here too. We went 6, 3, 2, then we started going back up because it has to make that U shape. So at some point it's going to have to redo it. What should we expect this number to be? We should expect it to be what? Negative 3, what we had on the 0. So let's see if it is. What's 4 squared? So throw a negative sign in front of it. Negative 16. What's 4 times 4? 16, so plus 16, then minus 3. What's negative 16 plus 16, then minus 3? And so it is what we expected it to be, right? Go ahead and plot these numbers. So 0, negative 3, 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 0, and 4, negative 3. And then connect them into your U shape. Always put arrows on the end. Oh, yes. What? Everything's going to be... What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. Don't worry.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Love you. All right, axis of symmetry. I'm going to have you do these. 2 minutes. What? X equals 2. Vertex is at what? Max or min? Awesome. X-intercepts are at what and what? And 3, 0, right? Y-intercept is at? Awesome. Domain. And range. Good job. Awesome. Did Mr. Cry give homework in Schoology? Okay. So I'm going to prepare that a Schoology assignment. Give me a couple minutes. That's what you're going to work on here in 1 second. Whenever you don't finish is homework in Schoology.